So I have discovered that I have an M-shaped mind. So it's something I want to share with you all because I think maybe you all, or at least some of you, can relate to this. Have you ever been working on one thing and then your interest shifts to another thing? Whether it's a couple hours or a couple days or weeks or months or whatever later, your interest, you have a lot of interest. That's me, and it's one of the reasons I started this channel. And I think I said in my first video, if I recall right, that I have a lot of interests. A lot of things fascinate me. A lot of those things that interest me, I'd like to do. When I was growing up, I wanted to be, a football player. I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be a dog trainer. I wanted to be a dog breeder. I wanted to be an artist. And really, I'm just kind of scratching the surface of all these different things that I wanted to do and be and so on. But I also, as I'm looking back on it now, I think that also happened with me when I was still working. I retired from Amazon, and when I was there, I was in 6 different departments because, I would be starting in one position, and then I would get interested in another, and then, and then another. So it's pretty much, it seems like a lifelong thing for me to have this M-shaped mind. But I'm here to tell you that if you're like me, from what I'm understanding, what I'm learning about it is to not fight it, but work with it. That's much better. It's almost like it's part of your personality, however you want to term that. The M-shaped mind, it makes sense when you think about it. It's not in a straight line. Obviously it's shaped like an M. Here. So it's a lot different from that. It used to, well, I think, let's put it this way, I think primarily it used to be a society that we lived in where you chose a career path and you stuck with it. That was it. Whether it was, a doctor, lawyer, policeman, whatever, I am a librarian. I am a teacher. I am a doctor, and in today's society, it seems like it doesn't really seem to work that way. Now, what this M-shaped mind, I'm just going to read this here. Research calls it multi-potentiality, the ability to develop competence in multiple, seemingly unrelated areas. The M-shaped mind apparently is always scanning or checking for possibilities, looking for safety in those things. Because when you think about it, if let's say you have this one career and you're focused on it, that was it, nothing else. What happens if somehow, some way that ends? The job is cut out, or you're fired, and whatever. When you kind of layer some things that you can do well, you're not locked into or trapped into a certain situation or reality. I guess in a way, maybe you have flexibility. I guess you could say it that way. the brain apparently, again, from what I'm understanding here, and I'm just learning about this myself, when you have the M-shaped mind, it likes the dopamine of a new beginning of something. Like, I'm starting guitar lessons or what have you. It's exciting. Or I'm starting this new career, or this new schooling. I'm going to school for such and such. But the problem comes with the middle of that process, when you become not maybe quite as interested. The dopamine is worn off. Maybe you're even a little bit bored. So that's where the bad part of the M-shaped mind comes in, is that you need to stick with it long enough to build proof and trust and so on. But you can't hang in there long enough. Trust me, I'm talking about myself. So, if you find yourself in this situation, I'd just like to try and, give you some pointers on what I'm learning on how to deal with it. And I think I sort of accidentally stumbled into putting these things into practice. One would be the core, or the what pays you, the primary thing. Whatever it is in your life. For me right now, it would be YouTube. So you sort of stack that as that's number one. Number two, you would call the amplifier. It makes the other one more powerful. And for me, that would be the Amazon KDP books that I'm doing. Okay, see, so I don't have to do 50 things all at once. I just have to do a few things. And doesn't mean I lose interest necessarily in the other things that I have interest in. But for practical purposes and for helping me cope with life better, you need to stack these things. And then the third thing is called the differentiator. Okay, and that's what makes you unique to something, your experience in it, something that can't be replaced. That's one of the problems with a lot of the jobs out there, where you just focus on one area, is that you can be replaced the vast majority of the time. But if you stack a couple things, and then your own life experience that you bring into it, then that can help you to not be replaced. You sort of become irreplaceable. So to sort of summarize a little bit, one is what pays, the core. Number two is the amplifier. That's stacking another thing on top of that. And then the third one is the differentiator. That is your uniqueness, your life story, what you've done, what you're doing. It's what makes you you, and makes it worthwhile. So this M-shaped mind, it seems to me that the thing to do is to work with it, not against it. You probably heard, if you're like me, you're lazy, you get bored easy, or something like that. And that's really not the case. You just have a mind that's wired differently. So use it, and use it in a way that is productive, and you feel good about it. If you like the content of this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Click the like button as well. And we will see you in the next video.